Okay, so this video is just gonna be a pure prediction video for One Piece. I'm just gonna talk a little bit about the final part of the newest chapter, chapter 1059. I have already done a review for it, but the thing I want to talk about here, obviously, is spoilers. So if you don't have read the chapter and you don't want to know anything that is connected with this new chapter, a big spoiler warning. Okay, let's start. We know now that Vegapunk have replaced the seven warlords because of his new weapon, and his new weapon is that he takes different species and combine them together. For example, when he have Boa Hancock when she was young as a slave, they experiment on her. So in some way, from her DNA, they have made a clone, like a robot pacifista, a clone of her when she was young. So they have combined Boo Hancock's look when she was young with King the Wildfire when he was captive before Kaido saved him to later on join his crew. And so they combine this kind of thing. So many of them, and that is also a possibility here, is that reason why they captured Goldie Roger was because to get DNA from him to make a pacifista version of Goldie Roger that they're gonna save for later on in the story. That is just my prediction here, that Goldie Roger, they have turned him to a pacifista, and Vegapunk now have built his like sea stone battleship, and he from there he commands his order send out the marine to attack and take that information and all of this kind of thing to build new weapons. The thing mostly, I think, yeah, that is a big possibility. As I say, always say before, that I think now Vegapunk and him is the same person. They have just different name, but they are he's the power behind. Sorry. Yeah. Anyway, so he is the power behind all of it. So I think the five elder stars are just his creations. The five elder stars and the other celestial dragons are just, he have made them. That is his pacifistas. Vegapunk's creation is the celestial dragons. So he made different hierarchies. So the five stars and the celestial dragons have he made. So I think obviously that him one is the final antagonist of the marine, and then the final antagonist of the pirates are Blackbeard. And the interesting thing here in the chapter is that Blackbeard was looking for Boa Hancock's devil fruit for some specific reason. I don't really know why he wanted to have that specific devil fruit, but for some reason, maybe he's just looking for that devil fruit to give some of his crew member. That can be a possibility, some new crew member that we don't know about. I don't know. That is the only thing I'm really uncertain about, why he wants to have that specific devil fruit. But what I've, yeah, so so with Vegapunk and his creations, reason for what I think why Vegapunk want to create a perfect replica of devil fruits is because then he can make first, if you only have the clone of that specific pirate, but you don't have that ability, that devil fruit ability that that pirate have originally when the original version of that pirate, you don't get the same strength. But if you can do a copy, identical copy of the pirate and the pirate's power, and you can combine it with like the pacifista's ability, the mechanical ability, like with weapons in combination, you're gonna get a very strong army. And that is the whole plan for Vegapunk, to build the whole army. So obviously, probably when he had built his army complete and all of this kind of thing, I think then he probably gonna overthrow the marine and take power totally for himself. He's obviously in full control, but then he don't really. I think he don't gonna need the marine anymore, because he have the machine that are totally servants to him as like mindless slaves. So yeah, I'm almost I can say I'm I'm certain that Vegapunk and him are the same person. Uh, I cannot find any other person that can be him than Vegapunk. Like both of them, they go into a room. There's a big straw hat there. They build robots, pacifistas. They work for they are in the world government. The whole thing here is that this is a made-up story that he was working for Monkey the Dragon before he joined the Marine. So if the Revolutionary Army have him on his side before, and they are arch enemies with the Celestial Dragons, it does not make any sense. Think about it right now. You have that talent on your side with that capabilities to build this kind of weapons and this kind of things, and just give him over to the world government. You give away your best chance to win if you give him away. So that I think that is just a made-up story. That he is the ruler over the world government. He's the highest ruler of all of them. He's the most powerful character that is not a pirate. He's the most powerful character that, yeah. And his power is that he can make perfect machines, and obviously because he had work with Windsmoke, Queen, and one more person I don't remember the name of. And Vegapunk was this leading scientist of them in the One Piece world. And almost all of the scientists was evil in the One Piece world, like, almost like the big five. Like for example, Queen, Windsmoke. So none of them are good. So why should Vegapunk be a good person? But all other of the scientists in the story are not good, and obviously the whole. I think the whole point why Vegapunk, why they capture Goldie Roger and then execute him was just to make a perfect clone of him. As I say before, they're going to use later on in the story. But they also a younger version. So maybe we're going to see Whitebeard, Goldie Roger, but in their prime, what they are pacifistas, and they're serving under him, aka Vegapunk. It's just my pure prediction here. That is the case. And we can almost see Vegapunk, I think, as an emperor, and one of his 5 elder stars are his right hand, and then we have his left hand, and then his lieutenant. So that is like the Yonko commanders are like the 5 elder stars, what they are to him, as they are as Yonko commanders are to the emperor. And so obviously, I think the guy with the big Nodachi sword, the monk, will be Zoro's final opponent. And since I have said a long time ago, I think that that guy's sword, his ability with that sword is that sword have the ability to kill devil fruits permanently. That his sword is a sea stone blade. So when he cuts somebody, he totally destroyed the fruit permanently. I think that is one of the ability of one of the 5 elder stars. The guy that looks a bit like Sanji, with his hand in his pocket, I think will have a similar ability to Sanji, but a much stronger version than Sanji. And he obviously can use like armament hockey, but he combined that ability with armament hockey with pacifista abilities. So I think that is, obviously it's just my prediction here. I don't know. My prediction what will happen. That Sanji's final opponent is that guy of the 5 elder stars. Nami's final opponent, probably gonna team up. Probably Zoro and Law and somebody else will fight together against the monk. Sanji, Frank, and Brook. So obviously gonna be free team up against one each of them. Obviously, I don't think Zoro will fight alone against the monk. I think they're gonna team up against them because of their ability, and then we gonna have Monkey D. Luffy fighting against a pacifista version of Golden Roger, and then after that fight, we will, as the final fight, we will see Monkey D. Luffy fight against Vega as the final fight. Obviously we're gonna see Monkey D. Luffy fight. So for like this, the final Yonko of the pirates, the title to be of the Pirate King, are between Monkey D. Luffy and Blackbeard. The fight between a free world or a world against tyranny is between Monkey D. Luffy and Vegapunk. That is just my pure prediction here. I can absolutely be wrong here in my prediction. It's just pure prediction. Yeah, it was an amazing chapter, and I really look forward to next Friday to learn more. And this kind of thing. So yeah.